farmer.
Watermelon sugar, huh?
Welcome, friends and fans, to another episode of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today, we are going back to the beginning of Z Nation as envisioned through the amazing series Black Summer. So without further ado, let's bring them out. Starting with our first guest, at his request. He is an actor and writer whose works include My Imaginary Ex-Girlfriend and Run. Today, he joins us to discuss the role of Lance. Please welcome Kelsey Flower.
What's up, everyone?
Hey, Kelsey, how are you, boss?
I'm great, man. I'm so excited to be here. It's going to be so fun.
Oh, so glad to have you here. Everything's good in your corner of the world?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I got a plant that's not quite dead yet, so good. I'm killing it.
All right, you know, it's like... Yeah,
Poorly chose words.
Well, you know, you're not killing... you got a green thumb, not a black thumb. That's all we know about. And we'll talk about a lot of dead things when we bring out the rest of your castmates, I'm sure. Great to have you here, boss. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And next, he is an actor, writer, and director whose body work includes Bigger, Claws, and This Is Us. Today, he joins us to discuss the role of the ephemeral Braithwaite. Please welcome Bechir Sylvain.
What they do?
Hey,
hello, everybody.
Good. How are you today, man?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing swell. I'm excited to be here, talk to some folks, and just happy to be here. Apparently, I'm in Greece, so.
Well, you shared an interesting story about that room. Why don't you share it to our audience?
Oh yeah, no, this is my escape room for the guests. When my guests come, they're like at the beach, and I even have an anchor for anybody that wants, take a boat out and just be out there and just, feel like as if you escaped California and went to the beach somewhere. Even though there's beaches in California, I don't know why I did that, but that's what happened.
I was about to say, when you said escape room from the guests, is that like for you to go to when you have guests that have outworn their welcome, or for the guests to relax in?
Oh, for the guests to relax, yeah.
All right. Just want to make that sure that sounded this is my escape room for the guests. Like, wait a minute.
Escape room? What? I got to figure it out. What are the clues?
Absolutely.
I can't wait to be invited.
Oh, please, anytime, man. You ready? We all ready for you, man.
Yeah, so that's all going. I just want to play with the anchor. I didn't want to see you. I just wanted the anchor. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today. This is going to be absolute fun. Let's bring out our next guest. He is an actor and producer whose body of work in front and behind the camera includes It's Not My Fault and I Don't Care Anyway, Tiny Plastic Men, and Caution May Contain Nuts. Today he joins us to discuss the role of Mance. Please welcome C Lipscomb.
That's me. How you doing?
You.
What's good? Everyone all right? Now, Kelsey, I saw you were talking about your one plant that's alive. I have two that are alive. Patty, you were talking about the green thumb. As it turns out, I have a black thumb, as you can see, and both my plants are alive. So you're gonna have to go back into that vernacular and switch that up. And I don't want to go to an escape room. That's scary. I don't want to go invite to your house and then have to figure a way out of the room before I can hang out with you.
But you can relax though.
You have to work for the friendship, Jesse.
Yeah, I guess it takes two.
I stand corrected on the metaphor and duly noted. And the proof is in the pudding that right now you're in the plant lead of 2-1. So Jesse is our leader.
Mine's like 6 feet tall. That's like 30 plants.
Well,
Oh!
And we got another point on the board.
Don't make me go downstairs, y'all. Don't make me go downstairs. There's a whole jungle down there in the escape room.
So one plant, one anchor, three plants. All right, let's see what we have next. Our next guest is an actor and producer whose credits include Shazam, Manhattan Undying, and Far Cry 6. Today joins us to discuss the role of Boone. Please welcome Manuel Rodriguez-Saenz. Ooh. Oh, we can't hear you.
You on mute, man.
Yeah. Project.
There we go.
He's doing the sun thing. We'll figure it out at the end of the episode.
Manuel, if you can hear us, check your settings because we can't hear you, and I don't think you're muted on our end.
Oh man.
See, this is why you got a tech rehearsal. This is why.
How's that? I'll tell you what, Manuel, what sometimes works is if you jump back out and come back in again, sometimes that'll reboot. Why don't you give that a whirl, and I'll bring out our next guest. and we'll hopefully see you in a second.
Thanks for stopping by, Manuel. That was really
Yeah,
fun.
man, it was good. It was good seeing you, man.
That's
Hey,
right.
good work.
Okay,
Good work.
absolutely,
Good
absolutely.
work.
All right.
Moving up.
All right, next, he said actors' roles include Rekindling Christmas, The Way Back, and Mayan's MC. But today he joins us to discuss the role of the heroic William. Please welcome Sal Vales Jr.
Hey, what's up?
Not much, not much.
Can
Hey,
you guys hear? Can you
We
guys
are
hear me?
good. We can hear you. Everything else, Manuel, can we hear you?
Can you hear me? I don't know.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yay!
Eureka.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yay!
Oh!
Why did he put it up like the most interesting man in the world? Are you prepared for that role? I think that's what he's playing right now. He's
Listen, this is a baby plant that's going to actually be planted at home. I just have it getting started right now, and this is one of those indoor plants that kind of becomes a vine all around. But also, I got a couple other things that I've been growing, so you guys might want to check this out. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's slightly concerning.
I grew this. This is a pure avocado, not bad. And, and look, by the way, I grew this also.
oh wow.
And so then, and my last growth was I just got this yesterday. I just grew this yesterday, so I just wanted to keep up with everybody, just show you guys. Oh, never mind the sticker from the
I was
store.
gonna ask.
All right, okay.
That's your company. You
Well, it's great. It's great to diversify always, So. Oh, he's got Winnie the Pooh too. So, all right. So anchors and Winnie the Pooh and plants and oh boy, we are just so ahead of the curve. Sal, thank you for joining us. Manuel, glad we can hear you. Let's bring in our final guest. She is an actress whose credits include Marlene, Red Letter Day, and the animated series La La Whoopsie. Today, she joins us to discuss the role of Anna. Please welcome Zoe Marlett.
So,
Hi. Guys, I'm going in the opposite direction. I have 2 dying plants.
They're great pots,
Become
though.
a plant show.
we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
All the fans are like, are they just going to talk about plants this whole time? This is insane.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Zoe, how are you doing in your corner of the world?
Pretty good. It's getting cold, which is exciting.
That's nice. That's like the bottom half of a painting behind you.
Oh, yes, it is. It's a very exciting painting. Abstract.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Yes.
That is nice.
Knowing you, did you paint it?
No.
Like last night
No. I've
after
never done
finishing your
anything that way.
screenplay?
I think abstract is code for I can't draw hands.
It needs an anchor, but besides that, it's a very beautiful piece.
Yes, it does.
That's
need an anchor.
absolutely.
Zoe, you're so big now. Oh my God.
I know. I was looking at the first season and I was so small.
You're such a baby. Look at you now. Oh my God. All right. Yeah. You'll still be a baby always to me. So.
Aw. Well, distinguished guests, once again, thank you all for joining us here on the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Our team is going through the chat room right now, pulling out the questions for you. In the meantime, I'd just like to throw this out. Any regular production is fraught with potential mishaps and wackiness, but on a series involving concepts such as zombies and special effects makeup, and everything that goes with that, for each of you, what was the craziest day on the set that you can personally recall?
There was this one day where we were supposed to just shoot these people in the face, starting off big. And then Dakota, the actor who played Sonny, got this huge gunshot wound on his face, and my character was the one who had inflicted it on his character. And he just walked down the stairs, and I was like, "Oh man, that's a good look on you." And he was like, "Oh, screw you." It was a great day.
That'll work.
Man. I mean, I feel like mine's relatively easy to know about. But the time where I had a little fisticuff with a couple of zombies. What happened though, there's a couple things that happened because real injuries occur. So I broke my rib. One of the stunties, I don't know if I broke his nose, but I hit it when I was trying to hit him with the axe. And he had this is the first time I'm saying this because I wasn't supposed to say it on set because he was actually bleeding. And he was like, just don't say it. Don't tell him I'm bleeding because I can't be here. I'm like, all right, but I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But he's like, don't shush. I don't want to get kicked out of the scene. So some of the blood coming down his is real, and I had a broken rib because I fell on my gun. And it wasn't a prop gun. And this prop gun, this is a whole nother thing we're talking about right now, which isn't funny at all. But also, this is why it's so important to have like the proper people there. I should have told them, but you know, me trying to pick up Mance, and I had my regular gun and decided I'd take a dive, and it just landed on my rib, and I was like, "Pah!" Oh. So that was fun. That was fun.
And again, that's gonna happen. You know, this is the part of showbiz that you don't hear too much about.
Yeah.
So gracious.
Accidents happen.
Well, I don't know if anyone noticed in the show, but Lance tended to run quite a bit. It's a subtle. You have to look for it. But like the first, like I shot episode 4. That was the very first thing I ever shot, and after like a 12-hour day of just sprinting all day, the director Abram Cox was like, "Let's just get one more. And just run down the street. I'm like, "Okay, like where am I going?" He's like, just to like the horizon. Like go to the horizon." I was like, "Oh, you're serious? Okay, I'm just gonna go pass out real quick." And that was like day 1.
Keep going.
Just keep going. See the horizon? If you hit the equator, you've gone just fine.
Keep going. All right, just keep going. Keep going until the reel runs out. Ooh, lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
My craziest thing was the rain scene, because usually when you do a rain scene, the water is usually nice and warm. That's why people could like walk around and be tough during the rain. Yeah. And we were shooting in September. At that time, the temperature kind of dropped, and the warm machine that makes rain warm was broken. So the entire time, me and Justin wearing a wetsuit, drenched in water, freezing, and I'm talking about like, and we're like, and also because we did it during COVID, so we couldn't go all the way to our trailer, get warm, and come back. So we literally stayed out there the entire time shooting in this rain and freezing. So we would be like, we'll do the scene. I'll be like, "Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, cut." And he's like, "You guys want to take a break?" We're like, "No, man, just keep going. So that was probably one of the best moments for us, especially for Justin. Justin is the part where he gets mad at me and turns around. It wasn't acting. He was really mad. He was literally frustrated.
That's a doozy. Oh my!
I happen to be shooting in the Rocky Mountains as well.
Absolutely.
Mine, I think it's related with running. Boone was already zombie Boone, and I think we were chasing Anna and Rose. We're leaving that hangar.
Whoa! Spoilers! Zombie.
What's that?
He said spoiler.
Sorry.
I know. I actually can't hear you say it again. I want to know.
Oh, he said spoiler.
Zombie Boone? I'm just being serious, dude.
It's like, is anyone watching this hasn't watched the series?
I'm messing with it.
It's an important point. Anyway, I pulled the muzzle of the first take. We did like 5 takes of that, and we were like selecting the zombies as who would be the faster, and I got selected as second, and I'm like, yeah, I am like, I'm gonna even like outrun this guy. So on the first take, I pulled the muzzle. I didn't say anything to anybody, obviously, because that would be embarrassing. So with half a pull muscle, I did 4 more takes of that, pretending to be running. And then I iced it when I got to the hotel, and I was fine. Good thing I wasn't doing any more running that week, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kept that in secret until now.
I think accidents happen. We see it happen all the time. But I've seen on that set, we knocked a stuntman unconscious during one scene. Sent him to the hospital. Then I had another stuntman punch his fist through the window. He thought it was sugar glass. He hit the wrong window. I saved his hand as he went through the diner window. But another scene. I think one that was pretty crazy was we run into the diner, and right behind the glass door, the zombies punching on the glass door, and it shattered right in front of my face, and then glass popped into my forehead. So we kept going, and I didn't know there was glass in my forehead until the end of the day. Because, you know, when you go to take it out, you're taking alcohol wipes and cleaning your face, cleaning makeup off your face. And I was like, damn, that's burning. And the nurse, the medic on set was like, wait a second, Sal, and pulled out a bunch of shards of glass out of my forehead. These little cuts right here. I loved it. I think there was battle scars. So for me, I was just like, yeah, this is great. You know?
Wow, a trooper going throughout the day, and good job saving that. Good job saving that guy's hand.
Oh man, he always calls me all the time. He was one of our best stuntmen, and he just completely, when his hand went through the window, I said, don't move. Don't move. Everybody freaked out, and I grabbed the menu off of the table, the restaurant table, and I put it underneath his arm. Because, you know, what happens is the glass from the frame will fall down and cut more. Yeah. So I said, dude, slowly take your arm out.
Yeah, wow.
And I was like, man, that was a nasty one. So, but we had so many wrecks on that set. You know, all accidental stuff. Everybody was trying to be safe, but whenever you're dealing with zombies and running and jumping and fighting, I mean, it's like you're in a combat zone, you know, something's gonna happen.
It really is. High concept shows, science fiction, horror, whatever. There's just and again, just regular production alone, as you're all aware of, things are gonna happen, and it's a quintupling effect too. So absolutely, you guys all earned that stuff and everything else. And I just want to say too, really thank you all for being a part of this show. It's been an absolute delight, and I'm speaking for our audience as well too. I just want to say thank you for your talents, and thank you for your professionalism, and thank you for the performances you all brought to this. This was a real delight.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure. We are good to go on our audience questions, so let's go ahead and roll our first one. Who comes from Rosalind, and she wants to know, how did you get your first acting jobs? Huh. Oh, wow. That's a deep one. All right. And I'll modify this a little bit. How did you get what you consider to be like your first, where you think, okay, I'm an actor now. This is my first professional gig. I mean, maybe you did some kids plays and stuff when you were young. So.
Well, see, I'll just jump in. I was waiting. I was trying to be that guy, but I'm always that guy. So here's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. I was 14 years old. So many decades ago, 1994. So back in the day, they used to be casting calls, like cattle calls. They'd be in the newspaper. And so in the newspaper, there was a role. It was asking for like a 14, 15-year-old scrawny African-American teenager, loud and obnoxious. And my mom was like, hey, you should try this. Acting wasn't my gig. I didn't even do that beforehand, but I'm like, I'll give it a shot.
What was she implying?
What'd you say?
What was she implying based on the description of the character?
Yeah, exactly what it said. She's like, you're a lot, and I need to put you in some stuff. And so we had this deal that if she could hear me in the waiting room during the audition, she'd buy me a Jumbo Steely marble, because I played marbles. And the Jumbo Steely was like the shot put of all marbles. You win everything. So that was enough for me. So I went in, I did the audition, I got it. It was a movie with Sidney Poitier. It was called Children of the Dust. Sidney became my mentor for like 6 years. Afterwards, and that kind of was like the show that kind of got me into the business per se, kind of. But it was one of those ones I say was on a complete whim, a fluke. It did not teach me how to be an actor, but it taught me that I love the craft, and I learned afterwards that it takes a lot more than love for sure. But that was the one that kind of opened the door.
Having Sidney Poitier as an influence in your life, that's amazing. I mean, To Sir with Love is still one of my all-time favorite films ever. So I was like, good job on that. Wow. Who's got another one?
Okay, so Black Summer is probably the first thing that I've done that's like professional, I suppose. I've done a lot of B-rated horror movies. Those are very exciting. But the audition for Black Summer, it was supposed to be an in-person audition. And then I got the call and my agent was like, oh, you can just do it remotely, whatever, because we were camping. So I did the audition in the forest.
Cool.
And I'm like 90% convinced that's the entire reason I got it, because I was in the forest. But you know.
Wow, she commits. She's really
invested. And they're like, you went out there and did it for real.
Exactly.
She's young to be a method actress, but okay.
Amazing.
Who's got another?
My first job was actually in LA, Lethbridge, Alberta. And it was just this. Yes, I knew Zoe would like that joke. And Jesse, thank you guys. I went to theater school in Calgary, and the first gig was a TYA show, a theater for young audiences, and I got to play a mouse in Lethbridge, as the show is called. If you give a mouse a cookie, and I was the mouse. So
the title character.
So you can imagine it just skyrocketed from there.
It could only go up.
It could only go up from there.
Only one direction to go.
Who's playing the mouse? Find out who his rep is.
Who's that guy?
That's a good mouse.
Who's got another?
I've been actually struggling trying to remember, to be honest. Anyway, I was already in theater school. This is back in 1998. And this is, I guess, my first audition gig that I booked. And it was a movie in Argentina. And I was super excited. I was 18 years old. And I was so thrilled and I'm originally from Cuba. So on top of that, it's like all the layers to that. And it's like, I get to shoot a movie in Argentina. And I'm not even 20. And it was really exciting.
Cuba. You know what? That's actually, it's funny because it's been a long time. I can't even remember when I began this career, but I know in the beginning, I was just always entertaining everybody all the time. I would sing, do impersonations, and I got invited to Second City in 2000. That's in Chicago. And I went there, and there was like 700 people standing in line to audition and to get in the company. And I ended up winning a scholarship for like 3.5 years. Wow. Go figure. Walk off the street, and I didn't even know what improv was, to be honest. I just know how to be funny. I know how to sing. I know how to do impersonations, and the producers were like, just keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, just keep doing what you're doing, and it worked. So that was the beginning of everything for me. So yeah, Second City, Chicago.
And in the context to our audience, Second City is more or less the Yale Drama School of sketch and improv comedy, and it's so much talent has come out of that over the past decades. And I envy you having that experience.
Thank you. Yeah, I sometimes I'm glad that you said that, because I downplay it a lot. But to be honest, usually everybody's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, I won a scholarship there." But it's an excellent school. It has a lot of amazing, talented people came out of there, and I'm so proud to be part of the alumni over there. So thank you.
Absolutely. So. One more. Bring us home.
Okay. It's gonna be a little quick. All right. So, like Sal, I used to entertain. I used to love entertaining, singing, dancing, all that wonderful stuff. So I ended up going to American Idol by a bet. A bet that a friend of mine. We were drunk in Miami, and I was drinking, and we saw a line outside, and I was like, "What is this?" And my friend was like, "Yo, this is a thing called American Idol." And I was like, "I don't care about that stuff." He's like, "Dude, I'll go first. You go after me, and then you'll be good and you'll get in." I went. The first day it worked, and I was like, "Yes!" But if anybody that's done the American Idol thing, it's a 2-week process. For the 2 weeks, they kept calling me back. Calling me back. I made it to LA. All the way to LA. There's footage out there of me making it to LA, which is great. So I make it to LA, boom, boom, boom. I'm number 500 and something. Simon comes up. I do my thing for literally 5 seconds. They cut me off. He's like, "No." And I was so mad. So Simon pulls me to the side, and he's like, "Hey, man, you're really talented. it's okay. If I were you, you should go to back to Miami, get an agent. I didn't even know what an agent was. And he's like, and then start your acting career. And I was like, what? Word? So I called off my friend. I go to Miami, I call my boys. I was like, yo, Simon Kyle just told me we got to get an agent. At that time, we had the yellow books. So I'm looking through the yellow books for agents. They don't have agents in the yellow books. They have real estate agents. So I'm looking around. I'm like, what is happening? How am I going to find an agent? So now my best friend who went to a New World School of Arts, he's like, yo, my teacher, she has an agent. You should audition for her. And I was like, all right, cool. So at that time, me and my two other best friends, my friend Shion McKinney and Arturo Fernandez. Shion McKinney's in the neighborhood with Cedric Dancina. So we're chilling there, and we call her up. We're like, hey, we're the best actors in Miami. We need an agent. And she had like a very high pitched voice. She was like, okay, all right, now why don't you guys come in on Wednesday? So we come in on Wednesday, and we're not traditional theater folks. We're very athletic stuff. So we treat it like as if we're doing sports. So we're all outside like hyping each other up like, yeah, who can make a play? Who can make a play? You ready? You ready? So we all individually go in. We get our agent. And she's like, I love you guys. Cool. There's an audition on Wednesday. I just want to see how you guys do in the room. It's a test. And it was for a lotto commercial, a Miami lotto commercial. It was my first audition ever. So we go in, and the thing was green screen. It's supposed to be a ball, and you're supposed to react to the ball, and then do a dance move, and then like boom. And then I did it, and I got it. And that was the first audition I've ever auditioned for, and I got it. Next thing you know, that was the beginning of my career.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man, so you had much more. I was up in Broward at the same time you were doing that shuffle, and you got more success than I am. So kudos on you. You know, and I miss physical auditions.
Oh, yeah,
because I miss seeing my audition buddies, the guys, specific role, the guys who are my height, my build, and everything else. It was the same 3 or 4 guys. It's like, well, you know, I want to get it, but if I don't, I hope you get it, bro. Yeah, all right. Let's go.
Especially in Miami, that was the thing. Like we would literally call each other because it was like 6 black people auditioning back then, and so we would literally be like, "Yo, man, I need to see the audition. You better show up, man. 12 o'clock, dude. Let's go."
Then he calls somebody. He's like, "So you go to this thing? What thing? Never mind."
Yeah, there it is.
That was the tough part about auditioning is that you'd go in the little waiting room, you'd sit down and look down the row, and everyone's just like a little bit better looking than you as it goes. It's like, oh man, sucking the gut a little bit. Like that. Oh my God, Ethan Hawke, please.
I haven't experienced that personally, Kelsey.
Ah!
I can relate to that.
Hey, Manny.
He's the guy on the other end. He's the guy.
Manny, I'm happy you said
No,
that.
it's true because you actually build a little community. I'm being a Latino actor here in Toronto. You build a little community with your competition, and you actually become really good friends.
Yeah.
I just don't find too many 6'4", 250-pound black actors in the room. So, like, I don't look down. The Rock's getting the roles already. So usually when I'm looking down, they're like, "Can you play the lawyer that's supposed to be white?" I'm like, yes, I'll play the wife. Give me a chance.
Yeah. Absolutely, Rosalind. Great question. Thank you so much for starting us off with that. Let's see. What do we have next? And here's one from Sarah, who wants to know, are there any actors, or I'll say actors, directors, anyone in the arts that you consider to be your role models?
Manuel, I think.
Lin-Manuel?
Are you referring to this
Manuel
Rodriguez? Like or
yeah.
Oh, we're definitely hanging out now.
Yeah, we have to. A handsome guy like you. For so long, Sam Rockwell has been my guy that I look up to, and I'm just like, oh man, like you just see people doing the career you fantasize about, and he's always been like that guy for me. And then like a bunch of new people coming up, and it's tough when you idolize people who are like 3 or 5 years younger than you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but like the Saoirse Ronans and like Timothée Chalamet's and all those guys that are coming up, and just like, damn, can I hang out with you too?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have a single one, but there's elements of people that I've worked with and that I've observed their careers that I really do want to take from. Like Kevin Hart's one person, and working with him and his work ethic, like how hard he works, the constant hustle. Will Smith is another one, just on the trajectory of his career and the foresight he puts into it. And then it's a mold of those two plus Anthony Hopkins would be like the three. If I were to put into one person, would be that with like a sprinkle of Oprah, like Oprah seasoning.
Yeah, right on.
You know, in this industry, in this business, you idolize people, and then sometimes the next day you end up working with them, and you're like, what in the world? So that kind of like has been my career. If I like somebody, next you know I was on set with them. I was in love with John Travolta. Next you know him and I are shooting a movie together. Then I loved Oliver Stone, and next you know him and I are shooting a movie together. I love Benicio del Toro. He's shooting a movie. Then Ben Affleck. Okay, you're shooting a movie. Then and it kept going on, like all these amazing people, John Voight, and I got to work with these guys all one-on-one, and they all respected me very highly. And that meant the most, because when you get affirmation from another actor of that stature, that respects your work, you're like, all right, I think I'm in the right place, But if there was two people that I could put together that were probably most influential, as a kid, I used to love, and I'm not that old, but as a kid, I would love to watch Sammy Davis Jr. and I would love to watch Danny Kaye. Wow. Those two guys right there were like the ultimate performers, in my opinion. Sing, dance, comedy, drama. They were the best. So,
that was that vaudeville tradition that they both came from, and they came from that very tail end of that, where you did it all, and absolutely.
Sal, I hope I wasn't too intimidating when we got to work together, man. Like,
I was sweating bullets.
Yeah, man. But you're a professional, and like you got something, kid. Like you got this, dude.
Yo, my dude is actually, he became my mentor. I got really lucky to work on this movie called 3 Days to Vegas. It was the last film that Ossie Davis was in before he passed, and I got to meet him. I did a table read where I played his nephew, and then he passed away, and he was replaced by my mentor, Bill Cobbs. Bill Cobbs, not Cosby, Cobbs.
Yeah,
this man is probably the biggest role model ever, because then he asked me to be his assistant. I only had a 1 day shoot. I literally had a 1 day shoot. And then I was passing by his trailer, and he was playing some jazz music, and I'm a jazz head. And then he was like, man, why don't you come with me and just, travel with me? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So he basically taught me the etiquette. Like, I've never seen somebody that had so much body of work and the professionalism. He knew every single person's name. Till this day, I can't do it. Like, he would know every person's name. He treated everybody so nicely. And I was working with Peter Falk, George Segal, Rip Torn, and him. So you're talking about like the highest of the high in a room, and to see some of them were. Let me tell you, Peter Paul was not the nicest guy in the world. We have the same birthday, which is crazy. I was just like a school of just how to be, how not to be, and he taught me everything that I needed to know as far as when to just. How to just be on set and treat everybody the same, regardless of how high, because everybody was like, "Oh my God, you're Bill Cosby, blah blah blah." But his humbleness and also his love for the craft, his continued wanting to study and always wanted to be better at his age. I was just like, "Yo, yeah, you're my hero."
It's incredible to watch the legends work,
bro.
They keep working so hard. You think like, man, you don't. They really they leave that impression on we're here to tell stories.
The best gift
we're here to do.
The best gift I've gotten so far is that one day he hit me up and he was doing this movie called The Ultimate Life, and then it was The Ultimate something. The Ultimate Life was a sequel, and he hit me up. He was like, "Hey man, they're looking for the young me. Can you do it?" And I got to play him. I got to play a younger version of him. That's awesome. So I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And it's funny because a lot of people start saying like, you remind me of him. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, he's you're right. Tremendous body of work, a scene stealer. I remember particularly he did a fantastic appearance on 6 Feet Under. and he just stole the whole show. When his character just called out everybody on their BS. Yeah. And yeah, it was great. Absolutely great. That's wonderful. You have that with him. So, oh wow. Ah, nice. Zoe, got anyone?
Okay. There's a lot. I really like Emma Watson. Like, her stuff is super cool. And Scarlett Johansson, that's the kind of stuff that I want to be in. So, that's great. And Saoirse Ronan's is awesome. And also Christine from Black Summer. She really taught me how to like act on set, because she was teaching me how to like pull yourself out of your character, because Black Summer is super dark. And it's like, you have to figure out how to be happy in between shots, and she's really good at that. Like, there's this one day where there's just a bike on set. She's like, I must ride the bike. We just spent 40 minutes figuring out how to get her to ride the bike. So
fair, absolutely fair.
And she did it all in Korean.
Yeah. There you go. Manuel, bring us home.
So for me, it's a combination of a bunch of people, and I get inspired now. There's so much content, that there's so many great actors, that I get inspired every single time I watch a performance. Career-wise and trajectory-wise, I think John Leguizamo is someone I looked up to, definitely. He's amazing. Also, how he involves his politics into his work. Yeah. And growing up, Dustin Hoffman I was a huge fan of the guy, and he's such an amazing actor. And mostly in the 90s and the 80s, the stuff that he was doing and the characters that he was building, it was impressive. So I always admired him for sure.
Nice, very nice. For me, it's Dick Cavett. But Sarah, great question. Thank you so much. And let's go ahead and roll another one. And this comes from Jolene, who wants to know, what would each of you be doing right now if you had not become actors or actresses?
I think I would be a geologist. Wow. I think I somehow romanticize the idea of a geologist. Like, I don't know, I've seen like camping somewhere in a mountain by yourself, exploring rocks in a Subaru. Somehow that looks awesome. I know that's not what geologists do. Not all of them. Not the huge majority of them. The big majority just work at construction sites and for the oil companies. But I would like to see myself somehow I glamorize it, and I would like to see myself as an exploring scientist.
Sure. No, that's pretty awesome. It is.
I answer that question this way, because that's with the idea that I can only be one thing, and that's not the truth. Because if I wasn't an actor, my life wouldn't look a ton different. I'd still be a writer, I'd still be a singer, I'd still be a teacher and a coach. Those aspects are still there. I think when you're following your passion is what leads anyway. So if for whatever reason I couldn't act, I'd still be following my passions, which I'm still doing right now. When you step into passion, that's all that exists in your life, everywhere. So it's an interesting question, but I answer with my life would look very similar, except for you just wouldn't see me on TV, but you'd read my books and you'd be listening to me on Spotify. So, and you still can.
Right on.
There you go.
What Jess said, but in my voice. Just what he said. Just think my voice is saying it that way, and then maybe something with law. I don't know.
Yeah, I got told pretty early on to like the advice was like don't have a fallback, because then you can't fall into it. And I was lucky enough to like be in a place where like acting didn't seem as scary, or like it was like, okay, like I have some support and all that good stuff, which I'm very fortunate for. But yeah, similar to what they're saying, I think I've always romanticized the idea of being like a therapist or a like psychiatrist or something like that, because I am very interested in people and human behavior, which is probably what pulled me into acting in the first place. But acting, you just get way more attention, which I crave, which my therapist says I desperately need.
There you go. Zoe, this would be interesting for you.
If I wasn't an actor, I would be a high school student failing the drama program.
That's awesome.
If I always I've done many things, but if I didn't pursue acting, I always liked the idea of being a fireman. I always liked the idea of saving people and shit, like I'd be the fireman that just saves them and be like, come on, cut that shit out. What you doing in there in the first place? You know what I mean? And then when the camera rolls on you and they're like, what happened? I'm like, I don't know, somebody playing with matches. What the fuck's your problem? You know what I mean? Just really be blunt and honest and be like, come on, I got enough fire to fight. I just like the idea of being able to save the situation and pull some people out and some cats and kittens and shit and be like, all right, cool, you guys are good, let's go. So that was my thing. I get a kick out of that.
That would be the only firefighter with uniform with a V-neck. He's like, let's do it, man.
He just picks random people. They're not even in trouble.
Fire is good light. It's good lighting.
Wait. Hold on.
They're not even in trouble. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
It's funny, with all this planned talk at the beginning, I thought we were going to say, like, oh, I'll be a gardener. Or, I don't know, somehow, like, botanical
a botanist.
Scientist. A farmer.
Watermelon sugar. Huh?
It's a drink. I'm going to put a straw in it and just...
There you go.
We really want you to do that.
Yeah, if my acting career didn't take off, I would have been a Q&A host. And Jolene, thank you. Great question. And I think we have time for one more quick one. Let's see if we can go on a really fun one. And this is from Jose. How many plants do each of you aspire to one day own?
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, I like that question, and I'm just jumping in.
Question, yeah.
It is. Okay, so just so you know, you can follow me on Instagram, not my regular one, but I have a plant one. It's called The Black Planter. Rest in peace.
Really?
And so, yeah, legit. I have an Instagram account for my plants.
Like a superhero.
I have over 40 of them.
Really?
And I love plants so very much. Everyone has a name. And I will continue to grow my little plant babies. And when they seed, I gift them to people. And just, that's it. Yeah, The Black Planter. And don't be alarmed when you see that you're my 97th follower. I just started. But I needed some love and help. But I will take care of plants forever because a good friend of mine taught me all about it. And she's now made me addicted to them, and I love them so much. So I want, I don't know, 1 million one day, but right now I have 40.
40?
I had no idea. This is so educational.
I have 5 thus far. It would be a shame for me not to have a plant because my dad was a botanist. He actually, when I grew up in Haiti, and he had a farm, and his job was literally to regrow Haiti and grow like mango trees. I mean, there's like 30 different types of mangoes. A lot of people don't know that. It's not only one. There's a whole bunch of them. Yeah. And so basically, I got a chance to travel with him in entire Haiti, just planting trees and mangoes, avocado trees. I mean, everything you could possibly, vegetation, all of that. So I actually do know how to grow stuff. It's just, it's a trigger for me because a lot of bad stuff happened back then. So but I still keep plants. I still keep a whole lot of plants in my house, and I, once in a while I'll just like grow, the simple stuff like a tomato or basil. But then they'll go crazy because he also taught me how to like put the right amount of food plant to make it grow ridiculously. So my basil ended up looking like a tree, and they're like, "What tree is that?" I was like, "No, it's just basil. It's not. It's not supposed to be that big. I just put some extra stuff on it."
There you go. Wow.
You guys can follow me at Puerto Rican Party Plants on Instagram.
You literally just set that up right now, didn't you?
No.
Real crazy, like
the real guy. No. So, anyways, I'm kind of like, I love plants, but I've kind of graduated to trees now, and I've been having this damn thing with trees and planting trees in front of my house or on different properties, and I've been falling in love with these damn these palm trees. So I'm doing like a California palm, fan palm, and all the. And I'll tell you something, man. These things are They look beautiful, but they are not easy. You try and transplant them or take them out of the ground or move them around. You're talking about a lot of work, but it's worth it if they stay alive. The whole point is keeping them alive. So,
that's the point.
That's the point. Just whatever you do, don't kill them.
I'm doing it wrong.
That's it.
No. You keep them alive. So, Zoe, how many plants do you think you'll end up having?
I currently have 4 plants, and 2 of them are dead. So, I mean, I love plants. Plants are great. One of them I've had for like 8 years. Somehow hasn't died.
You're young. You're young. You'll get there.
Exactly. I'm still learning.
Hey! Look at that! We got Bobby here.
Bobby,
real quick, how many plants do you want?
I can't see anything. I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's the question. How many plants do you have at your house?
I'm not at home right now, but I usually have like 4 plants.
4 plants.
One dies, and then I replace the other one.
Awesome.
Looks like a set number.
2 o'clock. We're just wrapping up here, but I want everyone to say hi because you're here. Look, we're here together. Look at us.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, I'll talk to you in a bit.
I guess there too. Oh my goodness. Jose, crazy question. Wonderful to go out on. Panelists, has been an absolute delight. Any final words for our audience before we take our leave?
Thank you so much for showing up, guys. It's been super cool.
Thank you so much for watching and all the love and for being here.
and thank you for watching, definitely, for sure, and spread the word. And to everybody in the screen right now, man, you know, congratulations and all the hard work that you guys have put in, man. Seriously, this has been such a blessing for all of us, and you know, to be able to just be in this platform right now and to do this is a blessing. And so that's why we do what we do. So thank you for allowing us to do our work.
It's been my absolute pleasure to serve you all today. Once again, thank you all for joining us on the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Thank you to our audience for joining us, and thank you for your great questions. Hope to see you all again soon. Until then, bye-bye, everyone. Take care, and remember, smiles are free. Spend them often.
Love.